Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you how pleased I am to be here tonight as the Premier of Victoria and a friend of the Jewish community. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Can I, of course, thank David Smorgon for his leadership in the Jewish community and in the business community right across our community. Graham Smorgon does an even better job than David Smorgon. I want that on the record tonight, don't you? That's exactly. You thought you had me there. You thought I hadn't had any sleep for the last 7 or 8 weeks. It is very good to be here. Can I, of course, acknowledge rabbis, members of the Rabbonim, Rabbi Joseph Gutnick, Rabbi Chaim Herzog, Ralph Ganendi, and of course Rabbi Stephen Baroda. To parliamentary colleagues Matthew Guide, Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs. The Marsha Thompson is here as well, my good friend and yours. David Southwick, of course, is here. Helen Shardy, as a former member of the Parliament, is here. Philip Deladakis, I think I saw a moment ago. Any other colleagues I've missed out on, please consider yourselves acknowledged. The Jewish faith gives life to some of the oldest and most powerful traditions in our civilisation, and it is a very special honour for me to be invited to perform one of them. As we've just heard, but I'll go through it again briefly and with nowhere near the enthusiasm of Rabbi Ganendi. So the story goes, when Judah Maccabee emerged with his people from their silent exile to reclaim Jerusalem and take back the temple, they found the altar had been desecrated. Only the purest of oil, that which carried the seal of the high priest, could cleanse the temple from the shadows of the crumbling empire. 1 night's worth of oil, burnt in the menorah for 8 days. When we kindle the flame tonight, and for the next 7 days we honour the great miracle that happened there. It's important that a menorah is lit inside this parliament. After all, the Chanukah flame does not exist to illuminate the house within, but to illuminate the house without. It's here to remind every Victorian, the members of the public who pass through here and their representatives in our democracy, of the power of faith, the power of perseverance, and the importance of purpose. Ours is the multicultural capital of our world. Our suburbs are home to thousands of different backgrounds and thousands of different traditions. These traditions become stronger whenever we share them, and the message and the meaning of this holiday, of this special time, is something we must share widely and proudly. I want to thank you for doing that today, doing that very important thing, sharing your culture and heritage this special time for the Jewish community with the broader Victorian community, and there is no better place to do that than, of course, in your parliament, in our Parliament House. That's how we preserve and celebrate and share one culture, and in so doing enrich every other culture in our modern Victoria. That's the great Australian guarantee, and I saw it on display yesterday, and I saw it on display in the early hours of this day. If you allow me just an indulgence to speak about those events in Sydney. We saw the vast bulk of Australian people from so many different backgrounds react to a terrible event without fear, without fervour. We as a community, we as a nation, did not yield to some isolated ideology. We're far stronger than that. The Jewish community knows we are far stronger than that. We emerged surer of our values and our place in the world, and prouder of our cultures and their traditions. This Chanukah, let us allow 2 candles to burn for the 2 people, the 2 workers, the 2 Australians, the 2 innocents who were lost yesterday for no reason at all. No reason at all, ladies and gentlemen. Let us remember their lives, and let us remember the brave men and women who worked so hard to save them. Let these candles which we will light tonight also represent our constant and unceasing triumph against those who wish to turn us against our faith by fanning the furthest urges of our fear. Let these candles remind us, as they did during the miracle in the temple, that the test of any faith is the perseverance and the strength it is called upon to summon. Make no mistake, what happened in the early hours of this morning in Martin Place in Sydney was not about what we wear. It was not about how we pray. It was not about faith or religious observance. It was a betrayal of faith and a betrayal of the harmony and respect that defines us as a state and a nation. We remain today devoted to the things that make our society worth living in: our diversity, our democracy, and our culture. When I visited Israel with my wife Kath, we noticed something remarkable as we entered the gates of the holiest city on earth, at the intersection of our oldest traditions. We could hear the call to prayer sounding, and simultaneously we could hear Orthodox church bells ringing during the solemn but magical hours of the Chabad at the foot of the Western Wall. It told us that Israel is a land filled with people who are sure of their faith, sure of their world, and sure of their duty to share it with others. People who have summoned the strength of God's hand and the hope of God's heart to build one of the most advanced and enlightened societies on earth. Israel is a nation that has achieved something not despite its challenges, but because of them. And that's the modern miracle. At every great juncture, the people of Israel and their brothers and sisters in the diaspora have become stronger, smarter, fairer and better. Israel's challenges have not ended, and they may not for some time, but her persistence, her perseverance and her faith will outlast each of them. I'm certain of that. The light of this menorah is the hope and faith that carries us all, and Israel is the light that will never go out. I want to thank you for extending this great honour to me. A happy Chanukah to all. Be grateful for your blessings, I know I am, your health and your family, and enjoy your holidays. And let us today, amid this celebration of all that it is to be Jewish, of all that it is to be part of a multicultural, multi-faith Victoria, let us not forget those who were lost in the early hours of this morning. They're a symbol of what holds us together, not what will tear us apart. Thank you all very, very much.